Most people assume that reaching a $100,000 net worth is just a matter of discipline. Save a bit more, spend a bit less, wait long enough. But the reality is more uncomfortable than that. Reaching a $100,000 net worth isn't hard because people are lazy or irresponsible. It's hard because the system most people operate in quietly works against them. And until you understand why, effort alone doesn't get you there. If this kind of realistic breakdown is useful to you, consider subscribing to this channel. That's exactly what we focus on here, explaining money the way it actually works. For many people, income is the first invisible barrier. Not because they earn nothing, but because what they earn is already spoken for. Housing, food, transport, utilities, healthcare, family obligations. These costs aren't optional, and for most households they rise faster than income over time. When your surplus is small, progress becomes fragile. One unexpected expense doesn't just slow you down, it erases months of effort. That's why so many people feel like they're saving, but their net worth barely moves. The second barrier is timing. Most people don't start seriously building net worth until their 30s or 40s. Before that, money is spent on education, housing setup, family formation, and simply learning how expensive life actually is. By the time saving becomes a priority, compounding time is already working against them. This doesn't mean it's too late. It means the margin for error is smaller. Small mistakes matter more when time is shorter. If you want more conversations like this, calm, honest, and practical, subscribing to the channel helps you keep finding them. The third barrier is cash flow leakage, and this is one people underestimate. A lot of people technically save money, but they don't keep it invested long enough to compound. They dip into savings for emergencies that never fully get rebuilt. They sell investments during stress. They change strategies every few years. Net worth doesn't grow from occasional good decisions. It grows from boring consistency over long periods. And consistency is difficult when life keeps interrupting you. Another major issue is that many people confuse income with wealth. A higher salary feels like progress, but if lifestyle expands alongside it, net worth stagnates. That's why you see people earning good money with very little to show for it. Net worth only grows when there is a persistent gap between what comes in and what goes out. And that gap stays invested. Not saved temporarily. Not parked. Invested. The fourth barrier is risk misunderstanding. Many people are either too cautious or too aggressive, often at the wrong times. Some keep everything in cash for decades, slowly losing purchasing power. Others chase returns, experience drawdowns, and abandon investing altogether. Neither extreme builds sustainable net worth. Reaching $100,000 usually requires accepting measured risk and staying invested through periods that feel uncomfortable. That psychological tolerance matters more than intelligence. There's also social pressure. Most people don't operate in isolation. They have peers, family expectations, and social norms, driving the right car, living in the right neighborhood, keeping up appearances. None of these feel like financial mistakes in the moment. But over time, they quietly drain the surplus capital that net worth needs to grow. And then there's a structural reality people don't like to hear. The system is built for consumption, not accumulation. You're constantly encouraged to spend now and pay later. Credit smooths pain in the short term, but it slows wealth building in the long term. Reaching a $100,000 net worth often requires doing the opposite of what is constantly marketed to you. Spend less than you could. Delay gratification longer than feels comfortable. Ignore upgrade pressure before you're ready. That's not easy, especially when everyone around you appears to be doing fine without it. Finally, there's patience. Net worth growth is slow at first, painfully slow. The first $10,000 feels harder than the next $50,000. Progress looks invisible until suddenly it isn't. Many people quit before the curve bends. Not because they failed, but because nothing felt like it was happening. So when you hear that most people never reach a $100,000 net worth, it isn't an insult. It's a reflection of timing, structure, psychology, and pressure, not personal failure. The people who do reach it usually aren't smarter, they're calmer, more consistent, less reactive. They build slowly, protect their downside, and stay invested long enough for compounding to matter. If this way of thinking resonates with you, subscribe to this channel. We focus on long-term clarity, not shortcuts. Because building wealth isn't about doing something extreme. It's about understanding what quietly works and sticking with it longer than most people do.